Hello guys, what's up? Lalapolalaa is here. It's been like I don't know a month already, and since my last video that I tutorial video, of course, regarding coding. But in this video, I'm gonna basically share with you guys, not coding related. I might say some of the coding related, but not tutorial related of things. But instead today, I'm gonna just share with you guys things that I wish I knew, as a title said. I wish I knew when I was uh, back in college day or living as a student myself. Uh, this is for software engineering, specifically for basically my story is specifically about software engineering student. But if you have uh, some sort of a related field as mine or profession as mine, maybe you are in a science com uh, stream. But yeah, that's basically a line of same, I can say same as mine. But who knows, right? You be the judge of that. But anyhow, in this video I'm just going to share with you guys things that I wish I knew back when I was a student in my college day. So back in the this was like the first, if I can remember right, and the first uh, uh my first year is in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. So 8 years from today, right? From this year, this is 2020, so it's 2012, so 8 years ago. So 8 years ago was the first year I was enrolled in software engineering course. So basically in my degree course. Uh, there's not if you are looking for a cliche point, like in my college day I should do like a to-do list or that kind of thing. That's not going to be the point that I want to basically share with you guys in this video. I'm just going to share with you guys the two most uh basically important thing that I wish I knew back in my college day right now. The first that I'm gonna share with you guys is uh, I have to admit that, and basically I'm just gonna say that we have to admit that if you are someone who actually in your college day right now or living as a student, you have to admit that you have a very lot of time, basically ample of time to do anything. Actually, it's just a matter of your choice of how you want to spend your time, right? Back in my days, I have a lot of time living a student. We just go back and forth to classes, which most of the time your class is gonna be basically ended around. I don't know if you live in Malaysia, same as me, then most of the classes would be basically ended around 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. in the evening, right? So uh, after that we basically have a lot of time for ourselves to do anything basically. And yeah, if you skip class, then you're gonna have a lot more time. And I do back in my days, I also do skip a lot of class actually. But ne- don't take this wrong. So basically, don't take the bad things that I do that I'm gonna share with you guys in this video. Just follow the good things. But if you do the bad things also, it's your life. Depends on you. So we have to admit that in our college day, or basically living as students, we have a lot of time, which basically we don't do. Uh, we just uh spend it doing uh nothing basically. If you want to prepare yourself best in the future to have good job, or basically uh making money that you wish that you wish that you have you able to make a lot of money later on, then I think uh how you spend your time gonna be reflect how you're gonna end up in your future, right? So uh as a student myself, I spend my time a lot in just going going back and forth, uh in basically be in the class, and most of the time also I do a lot of program. I join a lot of program also. But if you could do basically if you could allocate your time to actually learn some programming instead of just depending on what have been given to you as by the lecturer as a homework or coursework, you should be actually be doing some code or programming of your own. Back in my days, I didn't do that myself. I just wait for any homework or coursework that my lecturer give me. So the way that I learn code is by doing the coursework and the homework, which basically is not enough. If you able to do that to yourself, or basically able to do it for yourself, allocate some time to learn about programming, new technology, new stuff, what new in the programming language that you want to learn. Also, basically, the first thing that you need to do is basically get something to learn. I'm saying get uh, pick one language that you want to learn. But in your college day, if you are a software engineering student like me, I don't know about science com or any other stream. For software engineering, we learn all language. We start from learning C plus plus, and then we learn about C sharp, and then we learn uh I don't think that we learn about Python. No, we don't learn about Python. We learn about C sharp, C plus plus, and then we move forward to web programming. So basically, we move forward to HTML, and then we learn about CSS, and after that we learn about backend, which I think most of the college out there will be focusing on PHP and Java instead of focusing on JavaScript. Back then, I didn't know much about JavaScript. I can say that much myself. Uh, I learned a lot, uh, and I didn't learn a lot of HTML and CSS also. We just do like a simple web, a simple code to basically create a uh, landing home page. But I never, but when I look back, I could never compare what what we did in our college day, or basically how the material being teach to us from the lecturer as compared to what the lecturer now might able to give you as a student right now. So like 8 years ago, it's much more different from right now in the present moment. So 8 years ago, I think the most popular thing that this was around not in my first year, of course. Uh, I think in my third year or my second year, we basically just some just a few of students know other than just a language that we have been thought of. At that time, if I'm not mistaken, in my third year or second year, first semester or second semester, we are we are being teach to learn about HTML, CSS, so basically a web development programming, and we use PHP back then. So a lot of PHP, class-based PHP. Uh, we did not learn about framework at all. Framework comes after when we do our final year project. So basically, that will be in the third year, second semester before you go to your last year of your uh, degree. So this is true for those who basically skip diploma and going straight to degree program. So I don't know about diploma. In diploma, that's why some of the people who after, if you live in Malaysia after we take SPM, some of us will go straight for diploma for 3 years, 2 years and a half or 3 years, and then after they graduate from diploma program, and then they go for degree program for another 1.5 year or 2 years. Uh, then for those who go to diploma first or went to the diploma program first, then of course they gonna know a lot about programming first. Basically they gonna know a lot about programming than us, who basically from SPM we go to a 1 year program or 2 year program in Asasi program or matriculation program. So uh, from that 1 year program, then we basically jump into straight into the degree program. With I can say that with no prior experience in knowledge at all. In my matriculation program, we do learn about programming, but just a simple programming using, if I can remember, I don't know which language is it. Maybe C++, if I not mistaken. Yeah, maybe C++. At that time, I didn't even understand how for loop works. And that is for me is the most hardest thing for me to understand. How the hell this for loop works, man? I don't even know that how it works. So that's just the experience that we learn when at that 1 year program, 1 year study program in matriculation. When we began our endeavor of becoming into software engineering stream or basically course, uh, the first thing that we have to learn is to recap back, basically learn it again in uh, basically in the first year of becoming in software engineering as software engineering student. But what you need to know is that uh, this is gonna be long. If I talk about my past experience, of course it's gonna be long, right? But I can say this that for software engineering, we gonna learn a lot of language uh, further on until we basically graduate from the college. So the first year I learned about C++, C Sharp, and then second year we learn about the web development programming, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. But after that, you can just choose whatever language that you want to go for. It depends on what kind of final year project that you want to pursue. If some of the student want to pursue a project based kind of final year project, and some basically you create a product for your final year project. And a few student will go for what they call a research based final year project. So for research based, it basically it doesn't require you to build the product itself. You just need to build some part of the just a portion of the system which going to basically prove your research theory. So that's the difference between research based final project and also the product based final year project. So I choose the product based final year project, but it different from for if you, I don't know right now if you have that kind of option. Sometimes we don't. Some college they don't give options. Some college just gives one option, one of the other. Sometimes just research, and sometimes most of the time would be just a product based final year project, right? So, oh, like I said earlier, you should, in your college day you have a lot of time, and of course after you enroll in a program like mine, if you in the video right, in this video following me right now, then you must be someone that related to coding or maybe programming. Doesn't matter you are from science com software engineering, you're going to be learning all this stuff when you enroll in the university or college day as a software engineering student, or any kind of stream or course that related to programming, right? So what I can share to you guys is that pick one language that you want to master on, or basically spend a lot of time learning on them until you're able to feel comfortable coding with them anytime that you want. So uh, back in my when I was in college, that I didn't do that. Basically, all my time I just spent with my friends, just goofing around, just goofing around. Uh, and we call it riada. In the evening, we just go out and playing football or volleyball or anything that we could do basically that have nothing to do with our course, or basically that have nothing to do with our what we supposed to do in as a student, right? So basically, it's not something that we're supposed to do. Yeah, you could have fun while learning stuff. That that's your, if you want to, but this this might be not something that you basically gonna realize until you are until you finish your degree, right? So for me at least, at that age, 19 years old, 20 years old, I never uh, uh, there's never a time that crossed my mind that uh, I need to make money, I need to secure a better job. No, at that time I just think about uh, I don't like this class, I want to skip this class, this subject is too hard, something like that. But this is true for only maybe only for a Malaysia student, right? But if you're not part of Malaysia, maybe you live in other part of the world, which after you finish high school, you already think of how to make money, how to basically you already think, or you already have a girlfriend, you want to get married. So if you somewhat people like that, then you're not gonna be in the same criteria of people like me back in 2012. So in Malaysia, I can say that most of the uh, people at that age, at 19 years old, 20 years old, most of them are still in the process of studying, or basically in college, in whatever program, whatever study program. So that's why me at that time, I never thought much of spending my time to basically learn about coding. So that's the first point I want to share with you guys, which basically already took a lot of time. Just wanting to explain to you guys what is the free time that you actually have in your college day. So based on that, I can say that, and you have to admit that you all have a lot of time in college day. If you want to compare it, once you already graduate from degree and then you're gonna have a job, all that kind of thing, you're gonna miss your college day. Then you're gonna think that, oh, I wish that I did that, I did this and that before I basically in this situation right now. So that the most important point which I want to share with you guys. You do have a lot of time, so uh make so that your time is spent wisely. The second thing, which is the core of the point regarding this video, the thing that I really wish that I knew when I was in a college day as a student myself, is regarding your portfolio. Yeah, I know that uh, most people uh, will just, not just most people. I just want to say that uh, there's a reason why we have a curriculum in schools, in middle school, high school, and then from high school to a degree program or diploma program. From a young age, we have been thought of uh, basically building up our portfolio. Maybe at that time, at that young age of middle school, high school, we never. I don't even know what portfolio is at that time. We just think that we need to do something so that we able to get certificate of it, which we able to use it, basically show to any place that you want to go at that time. It's not going to be work, it's going to be something like further our studies, right? So basically, if you have certificate saying that you are the best student, you are best at this, you are leader of this, then you might be able to get a better college. Yeah, that's what I'm talking in this point. At that time, we don't call it as portfolio, but after we go to degree, and then the phase before we want to work, that's when we know uh, all the things that we basically accumulate or trying to get, doesn't matter whether it's title, knowledge, is basically called as a portfolio, right? So the second point I want to share with you guys is your portfolio don't have to be so big. I will explain what I meant by this. Uh, what I meant by big is usually what when we say about portfolio, we think about, I don't know any part of the other part from Malaysia. I don't know. This is true for me at least, and the people around me, my friends and all. When we think about portfolio, we think about uh, things that can basically show, that can make us different from other people when we want to uh, apply for a job. That can make it easier for us to apply for a job, right? So at that time, uh, what I can share with you guys is not things that you can do. Basically, put in your portfolio. It's not like in middle school and high school that you go for. Uh, uh, you basically involve in program and uh, basically run for to be a president in a program or vice president or any important role in the program, so that you can put in your portfolio your title and everything. That's, I think that's the less effective things that you can do in your uh, as a software engineering portfolio. What I can say is that your employer will, they will look at things like that, that you might be able to get a job with a background like that. But in most cases, most employers just want to find someone that can uh, do their work for them, right? So if they want to find a developer, programmer that know certain things, that know how to program this, that know how to do this, that know how to do this. Even if you want to apply for, let's say you already be a junior programmer for 2 years or maybe 1.5 years, and then you go to senior programmer, and then for senior programmer you be a lead programmer, and then when you be a lead programmer, then you have to be basically a project manager. So basically at that time, even if you want to apply, let's say you already become a lead programmer, then you able to apply for a project manager, right? In your project manager portfolio, you don't put something like even in project manager portfolio, you don't put something like, I know how to lead people, I know how to do this. You got the title, or you want to include all the title that you can get, right? Even as a lead programmer, they will ask you about your experience as you code the program yourself. They will ask for that also. That's why for me, I think that the least thing that you should basically go for, instead of joining program and trying to be someone in that program, or getting certificate of saying that you are the leader of this program, president, vice president, or someone important in that program. Instead of doing that, or just learn about programming, because employee are searching for someone who can do their job, or basically who can code, not who can lead or that kind of stuff. They don't look for something like that. The second thing you should know is that this is what I did in back in my college day. When I thought about portfolio, I didn't thought about at that time. I didn't thought about the title or that kind of stuff. But I do join a lot of program in my college day, since before I was enrolled in in college day. Basically, in college, I was a very introverted person, meaning that I don't talk to anyone. I constantly feel nervous around people, and then I can't talk to people comfortably, because I keep on having nervous breakdown. So that's why I train myself to to basically be comfortable when speaking with people. That's why I joined a lot of program, but not for the sake of getting title, or basically get certificate of every program that I join. And I don't even keep the certificate myself. I don't even take the certificate after the program ended. I just join it for the sake of changing myself to be a better person. So, and it's benefit me in a lot of way, but not benefit me in my work area, which able to give me a better position. No. uh next thing that I did in my college day was thinking that in order for me to get good portfolio, I need to at least get some kind of a real job, or that I do that get paid, right? So at that time, in my second year, last or the beginning of my third year, uh at that time I learned about how to do WordPress. So if you listen to my podcast, I do have podcasts. If you listen to my podcast, you might know that uh, I learned WordPress, not from I learned WordPress from the first WordPress project that I basically did for my client. So basically, I didn't even I don't know how to do WordPress, like zero knowledge on WordPress. I just know that WordPress is a drag and drop website. You don't have to basically create the website from the scratch. It's just that it's something that you can edit, and you can put anything that you want, put whatever that you want, and design it to be whatever that you want. Given that you know how to use WordPress, and given that you basically choose the right template for the client. So the first ever payable project that I do is a WordPress project, which I basically learn uh, throughout doing that project for my client. So that was back in 2014 or 15, if I'm not mistaken. I do my WordPress project. So at that time, uh, I I always thinking like, if I have this kind of information in my portfolio, this is going to be great, right? So people when I look for a job, uh, someone if those who around my age who apply for the same job as mine, I have something to show to them. I have something that able to basically I'm basically already able to make money with my coding, something like that. But later that I know, not making or basically building up your portfolio, you don't have to do something that very big in order for you to able to get a job. or secure a job. If you don't have the ability to basically get a client yourself, get a project, uh, the one that I did in my college days, something that most of people wouldn't think of doing it, right? So you would just do like the normal thing, like just do the coursework, just do the FYP, your final year project, and then after when the time comes for you to uh, basically apply for a job, you can just show what you do in your college day. This is my uh, final year project. I do this and this project, the product, some that simple as that. But I can say most of people will not do something like what I did. Take a project from a lecturer and get a payable job in order to strengthen my portfolio. So that's the two thing that I think the title and also the big project. Your portfolio don't have to be so big, but I will give you the three best important, basically the three best ways for you to basically build up your portfolio, that I wish I knew when I was a student. First is writing a blog. Yeah, as simple as that. It doesn't have to be an actual blog like you create your own WordPress website or blog, or using any kind of blog out there that you want to basically write a long context, right? It doesn't have to be a blog itself. You can just use your social media, your FB, your Insta, your LinkedIn, your Twitter. Even LinkedIn, they have an article portion where you can basically do a blog. So it doesn't matter whether the content is short or long. It could just be about anything. Instead of just updating an image or picture reminding you how handsome and pretty you are, or cliche pass like I hope today gonna be a great day for me. Wish me luck, guys. It's not something like that. All that kind of emotion dispersed all over your social media wall. Not things like that, but actually writing about uh, the process of you learning the code that you learn in that time of college. Let's say you learn about C sharp and C plus plus, and then you can write about C sharp and C plus plus, what you should know, what people should know about C plus and C sharp, what the difference between those two, and what kind of product or program that you can build with a simple thing that you can build using C sharp and C plus plus. You could do that in writing, but at that time, I never thought that it could be something that very useful uh, when I already passed my student age. So that's the first thing. You can start writing a blog. So I know that, and then the next best thing that you can do, if you feel much more comfortable, or you not a good writer yourself, then you could do a video or maybe an audio. Yeah, at that time, I can say at my time, yeah, making audio, making video already a thing back then. I'm not gonna say that at that time and there's no norms for us to do video or that kind of thing. No, maybe it's true for people that right now at the age uh, beyond 30. That might be true for them. At their time when there was student, might they might not be able to accustom to do a video, but blog always a blog has been always like uh, people are doing writing a blog like uh, far more. I can say that I don't know. I do know people that in their 30s, late 30s and early 40s, they write a blog constantly, right? So I wish that I knew about this. I wish that even I don't basically comfortable with basically recording a video or maybe an audio, since at that time I was a very introverted person. So I wish I could. I wish someone had told me that you should start writing a blog regarding what you have learned, the coding. If you want to do tutorial or that kind of stuff, you can start with blog instead of just uh, posting your image, you're posting your emotion that today is gonna be great. I like how how the sun is up today, something like that. The cliche thing, but actually important, uh not important, actually a very valuable content that you can put out there. So if you're not a good writer, then if you're not great at writing, then you can do a video or maybe audio. If you're much more comfortable with in showing your face or revealing your face, then you can do video yourself. But if you don't feel comfortable, then you can go for audio. Like right now for this whole year, I've been doing podcasts from January. I've been updating my podcast at least once a week or twice a week. You know, or once a week or once a fortnight. I will always update my podcast. Basically, share with other people what the things that I do in programming to improve my programming, my strengthen my how I do my program, right? How I code. So that's the second thing that you could do, which basically when you think of portfolio, you never thought that writing a blog or making a video could be something that you could put in your portfolio, right? At that time, I don't know about that. I don't. It didn't even cross my mind that I should write a blog or basically do a video. I never that was never crossed my mind that that could be something that I can put in my portfolio, right? But you could. The next best thing, which is the most best thing that you could do for yourself when you already accustomed to writing a blog or making a video or basically good at programming, what you can do, the next best thing is contributing in a forum. Yeah, guys. If you look back, I don't know if it's true or not. In back in my days, in my college days, when I learn something, when I want to search about coding or coding itself, I just go to Google and search it, and the first forum that I'm able to get in get the answer, which basically I think most of the people in the world gonna know about Stack Overflow if you are in the background as the same as mine, right? So Stack Overflow doesn't matter whether it's Stack Overflow, Reddit threads, or GitHub repo, or any kind of any other forums that basically talk about programming. You can go to that forum, and the first thing that you can do before when I say contributing to a forum, meaning that you basically contribute something, right? You search for something that you can answer. Yeah, but if you are someone that just starting to learn programming, then this is not going to be an option for you. But what you should know is that you would spend a lot of time in this forum, like before you even answer question for other people in this type of forum, you always gonna be end up in this forum when you ask question, right? When you don't know something, some people prefer to find a book and learn it through book, but most of the day I don't think that people still, I can say that few people will still learn using books, learn programming using book by JavaScript, book by Java group, books, any kind of programming books, just to learn from the book itself. I don't think. I knew that. Uh, I think that there might be a few people still doing that, but I can say that uh, student nowadays, or basically people nowadays learn it through best is learn it through video, through tutorials after tutorials. That's why there's a lot of video that come out, like doing tutorials after tutorials gonna burn you out, and then you basically don't know how you basically don't even know what you are doing actually. But basically that's for me, that's the best way for me to learn. I learn through tutorials, And if I don't understand certain part of the code, I just ask away in forum like Stack Overflow. Or something. I can't imagine how people before my my time basically at the time at my time I think I already learned about I already taught myself to learn through video and also forums like so we ask in a forum things that we don't know how we don't understand. That's why we ask it in the Stack Overflow. That's how basically I learned from my college day. We just ask it in forum when we don't know something, or we just find someone that know about it, right? If we do have friends that know about more about coding than us, then I just gonna ask we the question to them. So that's why I think before like always before it's norms like before you can answer the question then uh, you should familiarize yourself with asking question first, right? Basically you familiarize yourself with the forum itself. Each every forum have their own like basically not law basically a way out of that basically a way out or how you can ask a question. Basically, there's a step-by-step guide on each and every form out there that you need to follow in order for you to ask a question and also answer a question, or basically provide a, 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 a basically an answer for an issue, any issue that in the forum itself. So before you can able to contribute, basically make yourself contribute to in some kind of forum, you need to learn some programming, right? So that's why in the time you learn about programming, you also already know how to basically maneuver yourself around in the forum yourself, right? Because you ask a lot of questions in that forum. Then of course, uh, the next thing that you could do is uh, basically help people to help people with their issue. Same as yours, there's always going to be someone that able to answer your question, then also it's going to be vice versa also. Then if there going to be always someone that going to ask question which you might be able to answer. That's why the first thing that you could do when contributing in a forum is basically find the question that you basically able to answer, or basically able to give a concrete or basically somewhat close to what the person are trying to get or basically have with their problems in their programming, right? So that's the best thing that you could do. Basically, add to your portfolio. It's basically contribute in the forum by answering other people issue or helping with other people issue. The next best thing, basically, this is the most best thing out of all of this, is contributing to a project. Doesn't matter whether it's a small project or a big project. What I mean by that, by this, is that you could basically contribute to a GitHub repo. You can choose project that you want to basically enroll into. Basically, you want to contribute something. Maybe you want to contribute a small project where people focus on making a very interactive table. You want to contribute something. Doesn't matter whether the things that you contribute is for the back end or front end or anything. It just about anything. This is something that I didn't even able to do it yet, since I basically mm, actually I was away from doing programming for like almost 3 years. I do other thing than programming. It's not that it's not related to my profession. It's still related to my profession. I do a lot of WordPress, but in WordPress you didn't do a lot of basically a coding side of the system, right? You just do an update, a drag and drop, and sometimes you also gonna uh, do styling CSS, but that's all. You didn't do anything from the scratch. But then I feel like my business, or basically, I want to at least know how it feels to learn, basically not learn, work with a company where I can basically create a website from the scratch, s- some sort of a full stack developer. That's why if you listen to my podcast, I do a series, or basically, yeah, a series of of to be a full stack developer, which is not yet finished. I'm not yet able to finish that series. It should be finished around before next year comes, since early this year or last year in month December, I started that series of wanting to be a full stack developer. So I recap back what I've learned from my college day, and I basically in my back in my college day, I learned a lot about PHP. Since when I go in my internship, I also do PHP stuff. So basically, I already accustomed to PHP backend, but I can say much for myself is that I don't know much about HTML and also CSS and other type or SCSS, JavaScript. I don't know much about front end. I do know a lot about back end, just around PHP, E framework, and Laravel, SQL, MySQL. I do know that kind of thing, but I also don't know a lot of stuff like API, fetch, a lot of that. I don't know about that since I didn't involve myself with basically create a website from the scratch or do it myself. So that's why I basically allocate this year, basically year 2020, from last year of month December, I started the series of wanting to be a full stack developer in JavaScript. So I learned a lot this year, like very a lot, from not knowing how to basically create website for, basically create something from the scratch myself. Now I already know a lot of that. I can now I already uh in I already learn about React programming, the web-based version, not the native one, the web-based. Already in the version 4 of my portfolio building. So that's how you basically, if you in the starting line of learning a programming, then contributing to a forum is not something that you could do uh, when you just start learning programming, right? But you should familiarize yourself with forums or any other coding forum which you able first ask a question that you want to ask in the forum. Just keep on instead of asking people, instead of learning it through books, or basically find it the answer through books. Just write something, or basically ask something in the forums. The reason is why, if you look back the points that I basically share with you guys regarding the portfolio stuff, and the first thing is you have a lot of time, what you should do in your time. The second thing is about your portfolio, right? It doesn't have to be things that big, or it shouldn't be something that uh, you need a title, or you need to join a lot of program in order for you to be able to have a strong portfolio. It's not that. But instead of that, you should write a blog, you should make a video or tutorial or any kind of video that related to your profession. And next thing that you should do is contributing to a forum. Doesn't matter whether you answer people issue, or basically provide a solution for other people issue, or contribute to a project, small or big. If you see all the points, or all the point that I shared to you guys, basically what I just want to say to you guys is you should start document everything. That's the most uh, important thing that I wish I knew when I was in college day. If there was someone that told me that, you know what, you should document everything that you do. This is gonna be this is gonna benefit you in a lot of ways. Doesn't matter whether you document cliche things. Okay, let's see from let for example, if you document every cliche thing. Let's say you are someone who is very keen to post something that regarding your emotion. You wake up in the morning and then you go to the window and then you see birds. You saw a bird flying uh, out of your window, and then you was just like, get your phone and then update. I just saw a bird flying through my window. This morning is gonna be a great day for me. Then of course, near in the future, maybe 10 years after that, you're gonna if you look back at your timeline in your I don't know if you update it in your Twitter or in your Facebook or in your Instagram, you're gonna feel like, oh, I was someone like that, right? So doesn't matter whether whatever that you document, it's gonna basically uh benefit you in some ways, right? So if someone, like I said earlier, told me that you should document everything in my college day, or maybe in my high school or middle school, if someone have told me repeatedly like, you should document everything, you should do this, you should and you should document everything, right? I think that's gonna be the best thing, that after 10 years when I see and look back, I could basically pick out from any of my documenting, like whether it's a video, audio, or writing. I basically can read through them, or basically, and some of the document that you do might be able to help you get a job that you want. So that's why, if you are those who still in your college day, in high school, learning, basically listening to what I said right now, start document everything. Start start to document everything, just everything. But I will basically emphasis on document something that very important to you in future. Basically, things that you think that gonna be important for you in the future, like related to your profession, or maybe related to you yourself, your basically your mind, your emotion. So you can start document everything. Let's say when the times come for you to go to the interview session, basically, or trying to get a job, even if your portfolio, uh, i- let's say they see your portfolio and then they just they ask you, oh, you join this program, oh, okay, okay, oh, so you have this kind of project, okay, but this is your final year project, right? Yeah, this is my final project. Is this all? What you do in your free time? If you don't document, you don't have any kind of document, then whatever that you say at that time gonna be something that have no concrete proven value to it, right? So if you say like, I do this, I do that, and I thought that, and I do feel that this and that make me a better person, or better coder, or better programmer, but you don't have something to show to them, right? So that's why, if you document everything, then if they ask you, what you do in your free time, and then you can show to them, if you go to my uh, uh, Stack Overflow page or GitHub repo page, you can see that every day, I spend my time around 1 hour to look for a question that am able to answer. I'm able to provide an answer, or basically help other people to resolve their issue, or something like, in my free time, I learn about programming, and I also, instead of just learning, I also do provide tutorial and do video, and although I do writing about the code that I learned. So maybe they will ask like, why did you do this all kind of thing? I know that you want. I know that if you go to a forum that you answer question, you just answer that to raise a point in that forum and get benefit out of that. But why you do video? Why you do writing a blog? You might just feel like answering them. Like I just feel to I just wanting to do basically share to other people knowledge that I gain, or basically this is a form of me to understand more about programming. And let's say if I uh, basically keep answering question on a forum that helps me. Basically, what you do, the things that you document regarding your profession, doesn't matter you are writing blog, you making video, or basically contributing yourself in a forum. Basically, what the employer will see you as someone that, especially in forums, if you a lot of questions you're able to answer, that means that you basically uh, an employee type of material. Since you, if let's say there's no one in this world, basically, I can say that no one in this profession of what we are doing right now, programming and that kind of stuff. If I let's say I give you uh, a code that I do on my own, and then I just give you like, hey, can you find the solution to this problem? And there was like 100 line of code. No one in the right mind will say that, okay, I will help you find your issue. No freaking way. We hate uh, basically trying to correct other people code, right? So let's say if even in a big company, even if there's a one company that do basically they have a system that, let's say they have a system A, right? And then they want to the one that basically maintain the system, the company that basically maintain the system. Contoh, basically if company A have a system A, which basically they ask company B to maintain that system A. But company B, they say, uh, find a new uh, system that they want to maintain, and then left the system from the company A, and then company A finds company C, which they ask the company C, could you maintain the system for us? But of course, all company will. This is my experience in my internship and knowing some other people. We always, as a developer or basically as a company itself, when people comes to or to us to basically maintain the system for us, it's something that we don't want to do. Or if we actually take that kind of uh client, and then we will basically in time we will basically urge them to why don't you create something new, or basically you make it your system up to date. So basically we are basically asking them to create another system, right? So, because it's it's such an hassle for you to basically maintain a system that you yourself did not create. So basically you need to learn it from the scratch. If company if the previous company did basically document everything in form of documentation, basically you can find the documentation of every code that have been right in that program, that's gonna be very good. But some of the company uh will most I will not say that some, I will say that even they do have documentation, but that not gonna be something that very useful, or basically in all that uh, coding area, right? So there might be something that will not document in the documentation that have been given to the current company. That's why we don't like basically reading our other people code. But if you could do that in forum, answering other people question, you train yourself to uh, look on other people codes and learn through the code yourself. uh, everything that you encounter could be something that new to you, right? So that's why when you put this on your portfolio, when you go to the interview session, this will be a very strong point for basically a strong value that employer could find in any of the potential employee that they want to employ for their company. That's why I think contributing in a forum is very big, have a very big role uh, in the metrics of you able to get your the job that you wanted. So uh, I think that's all, guys. There's not much point. I don't share with you guys the point that you need to do some to-do list or every year you need to basically list out what things that you need to do. That's not the thing that I want to share with you guys. But the main thing that I want to share with you guys that you should know that you have a lot of free time in your college day. You should know that. And then what you should do in your free time. You should spend it wisely. And then if it, of course everyone gonna be going to have to build their own portfolio. That's why I'm sharing with you guys what kind of portfolio that you able to basically create from uh your starting point, what you should do, uh, and basically re-engineer back uh what is portfolio, right? It's not just the title, it's not just uh, a job that you can land, that you can put in your portfolio. Is portfolio has every kind of label, right? If you are someone who right now I'm focusing on student, then student portfolio is not something that you should get a job or freelance or do something like that. But if you do able to land a freelance or job, then you could put in your portfolio. It's good. It would be very promising for you to have that kind of portfolio. But most of the time, let's be honest, most of the students will not have the opportunity to do a freelance because they just learn about things, right? So that's why there's not much thing that they can provide basically do that get paid. So that's why I think, but I never said that it couldn't be done. It can be done actually if you put a lot of time and effort to learn about programming itself. Like me myself, I learned to be a full stack developer this year. First month, January, February, and March, I already learned about HTML, a lot of which is HTML and CSS, and also I also learned about design. Since I want to learn about HTML and CSS, as I'm not just going to blindly uh, create a navbar or landing page which don't have any styling, right? So the reason why we do CSS is for styling. That's why I also need to learn about design, which I not not fond of it because I don't actually know the I don't have actually have this kind of art stuff in me. I don't know which colors suit best with which color. Do I have to do this or that in terms of designing? I'm very not good at that. That's why I took a lot of time. Instead of learning about HTML and CSS, I do took a lot of time learning how to do a design. That's why I learned about mockup design. I learned about wireframe. I learned about basically UI UX design. So after I learn about UI design and then I implement it on the code side of the system, which I learn HTML, CSS, SCSS, SAS, all that kind of thing for around 2 months. So even after that, if you basically what I want to say to you guys, even if you just learn that, you just learn CSS and HTML, you already can do any kind of designing job. If you can put your profile in your Fiverr or any kind of website out there that can uh, basically pay you after you do a job, right? On designing any kind of stuff. Just you just have to focus around 2 months, and maybe 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, learn about HTML, CSS, and you're already able to make money from that. But that's of course gonna be depending on your potential, depending on your ability to find or basically uh, 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 work out through what you already learned, right? So uh, that's why I said you should document everything, uh, instead of just instead of thinking that you need to get a job or basically an actual job that get you paid, right? And to put it inside your portfolio, you don't have to do that. Since you when I say you don't have to do that, it doesn't mean that you should not do that. Yeah, if you have the opportunity, then do it. I'm just gonna say that. If you have the opportunity, then you feel that you want to do it, and just do it. But the most important thing that I want to share to you guys, just document everything. Doesn't matter whether it's small or big thing, just document everything. In writing, in video, in audio, just document everything. So that's the point that I want to make, to basically share to you guys. Spend your time wisely and also build up your portfolio through documenting. So do that for the rest of your college day, and then you will find yourself. You will find yourself when you're trying to secure a job. It's gonna be a lot more easier for you. So I think that's all, guys. That's all for today's sharing session. I thought of doing the video of this series, this topic, but uh, maybe I just do the audio. Just update this on my audio podcast. I'm thinking of doing it in video, but I don't know. I just don't feel like uploading a video right now. Maybe after, maybe next year I will start doing a vlog instead of just uh, audio podcast, right? But for the time being, I'm just gonna update everything in my podcast. So I think that's all for today. So I hope that for those who are listening to this, who's still in their starting phase or in their college day, or you are a student of software engineering or any kind of uh, related profession as mine, science comms, uh, make sure that you spend your time wisely and also build up your portfolio by documenting everything. Make sure to document everything, guys. So that's all, guys. As always, thanks for listening. Until next week or until next time, ciao, salam.